Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we've got some massive news coming out of the NFL world, especially around the Dallas Cowboys. So buckle up because this one is going to be full of surprises. From a major trade alert involving defensive mastermind Dan Quinn to some shocking injury updates from across the league, we've got it all. We're also diving deep into the latest moves made by teams like the Commanders and Bengals. This is one video you won't want to miss, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right into the action. First up, let's talk about the explosive trade involving Dan Quinn. Now, Dan Quinn, who has been the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys since 2021, has become one of the hottest names in the NFL when it comes to coaching talent. Quinn's defensive schemes have been nothing short of phenomenal, helping transform the Cowboys' defense into one of the league's top units. His ability to generate pressure on the quarterback, utilize versatile defensive players, and create turnovers has earned him praise from all corners of the NFL world. But now, rumor has it that Quinn could be on the move. We all know that coaches like Quinn don't stay put forever, especially when they're in high demand. Recently, there have been whispers around the league that several teams are eyeing Quinn to fill their head coaching vacancies. And it's no secret that Quinn's name has been floating around as a potential candidate for some major openings. But in a surprising twist, reports are indicating that Dan Quinn could be traded. Yes, traded. Now, before we get into the details, let me explain how this could even happen. Normally, we think about players being traded, not coaches. But when a coaching staff is in high demand, and they have a valuable asset like Quinn on their roster, teams might look for a way to acquire that talent to bolster their squad. The trade idea surrounding Dan Quinn has sparked plenty of excitement among fans and insiders alike. While there isn't much concrete information on which team could pull the trigger, we're hearing that a few organizations in need of a new head coach or defensive coordinator are considering making an offer to the Cowboys. The fact that Quinn has turned the Cowboys' defense into one of the best in the NFL makes him an incredibly attractive asset. Whether or not the Cowboys would be willing to part ways with such a key piece of their coaching staff remains to be seen. But imagine a scenario where a team like the Bears, who are still in the midst of rebuilding, or the Panthers, who are desperate for a fresh start, come knocking with an offer the Cowboys can't refuse. It's a real possibility, and we're all going to be watching closely as this story develops. Now, while the trade talks around Dan Quinn are heating up, we've also got some major updates regarding star injuries across the league. It's that time of year where teams are starting to worry about key players' health as we approach the midpoint of the season. And unfortunately, a few players have already been hit hard by injuries that could affect their team's playoff aspirations. Let's start with the Washington Commanders. They've had an up and down season, but things are looking even more uncertain now as a major injury has rocked the team. Defensive star Chase Young, who was once considered one of the top pass rushers in the NFL, has been dealing with a lingering knee injury. Young has been battling through the pain for several weeks now, and unfortunately, it looks like he's going to miss a significant amount of time. This is a huge blow for the Commanders, who have relied on Young to anchor their defensive line. Young's ability to disrupt the quarterback has been a major factor in Washington's defensive success, and without him, the Commanders' defense is going to be severely limited. This injury puts even more pressure on Washington to figure out a way to fill the void left by Young. They've got some decent pieces on defense, but replacing a player of Young's caliber isn't easy. As the Commanders continue to struggle this season, this injury could be the final nail in the coffin for any playoff hopes they had. Expect to see more rotation along the defensive line as the team tries to stay competitive without one of their top playmakers. Shifting gears to the Cincinnati Bengals, we're hearing some concerning news out of the Queen City as well. Star wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase, who has been one of the most electrifying players in the NFL since entering the league, has been dealing with a nagging hip injury. Chase has been a key part of the Bengals' high-powered offense, and losing him for any amount of time would be a devastating blow. While we don't know the full extent of the injury just yet, there are growing concerns that Chase might miss several games as he recovers. If that's the case, the Bengals' offense is going to look drastically different. Without Chase, quarterback Joe Burrow loses one of his top targets and a player who has the ability to take over a game. This injury comes at a critical point in the season for the Bengals, who are fighting for a playoff spot. Without Ja'Marr Chase, they'll need other players to step up and fill the void. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd will likely become Burrow's go-to receivers, but there's no question that replacing the explosive playmaking ability of Chase is going to be incredibly difficult. The Bengals are going to have to adjust their game plan on the fly and rely more on the running game and defense to stay afloat while Chase is sidelined. If the injury keeps Chase out for an extended period, the Bengals could be in real trouble in their pursuit of a postseason berth. Now, let's circle back to the Dallas Cowboys and take a closer look at what's been happening with them. As we all know, the Cowboys are off to a strong start this season, but there have been some bumps in the road. Injuries have been a concern, particularly in the offensive line. The Cowboys' offensive line has been a cornerstone of their success for years, but they've had to deal with injuries to key players like Tyron Smith. Smith has been battling back issues for a while now, and it's unclear just how much longer he can remain on the field at a high level. The Cowboys' front office has been keeping a close eye on the situation, and it's possible that they could make a move to shore up the offensive line before the trade deadline. While the Cowboys have a solid group of offensive linemen, losing a player like Smith for an extended period of time would leave them vulnerable. The last thing the Cowboys want is for quarterback Dak Prescott to be under constant pressure, which could limit their offensive production and put their playoff hopes in jeopardy. But it's not just the offensive line that's a concern. The Cowboys' defense, while elite, has also been hit with injuries. Starting cornerback Trevon Diggs went down with a torn ACL earlier in the season, and while his absence hasn't been a complete disaster for the Cowboys, it's clear that they miss his presence on the field. Diggs is one of the best cornerbacks in the league and a major playmaker for the Cowboys. The team has had to rely on younger players to step up in his place, but the drop-off in talent is evident. Despite these injury concerns, the Cowboys remain a dangerous team in the NFC. With players like Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott leading the charge, the Cowboys have enough firepower to remain in contention for a playoff spot. However, the upcoming weeks are going to be critical for the Cowboys. They'll need to get healthy, make any necessary roster moves, and continue to perform at a high level if they want to keep their championship aspirations alive. Before we wrap up, let's quickly touch on some other key developments around the NFL. Teams are gearing up for the stretch run, and we're starting to see some interesting moves and rumors flying around the league. The AFC and NFC playoff picture is starting to take shape, and every game counts. Whether it's the trade rumors involving coaches like Dan Quinn, the injury updates for star players, or the adjustments teams like the Cowboys are making, it's clear that this NFL season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting and unpredictable in recent memory. So, what do you think? Could Dan Quinn be on the move to another team? How will the Commanders and Bengals cope with their key injuries? And what will the Cowboys do to overcome their challenges and stay in the hunt for a Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about all of these storylines. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL news and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.